Hello everyone, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching MKJTV and it is viewer Q&A. I have to tell you guys, yes, I am rocking pigtails like a 4-year-old because my hair, I didn't have time to do it like before I left because I spent the night in Daegu this weekend. So I was like, I'm gonna break this down, throw a hat on, and make it work. This is one of my favorite go-to styles. Y'all should have seen me. Where's my purse? I was on the train like this, incognito. Like, you can't see me. You can't see me. So I had these shades on, and the kids were like, ooh, apricot. I was like, me goose it up. I wanted to say I'm from Hollywood, player. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm being silly. Because I'm still a little bit tired. That was a really long train ride. It takes me 2 hours and some change to get from Daegu to here on the slow train because I live on the other side of Busan, so it was a really long ride. Anyway, let's just hop into it for today. Viewer Q&A is from V. Daniels from Teaneck, New Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And her question is, how do you build confidence? Okay, so this is probably the hardest question that anyone has ever asked me. And I've gotten this question before, and each time I'm like, not because it's it is hard to answer because people are different, and what works for me, wait, can you guys see me? Hold on. All right. Hi. What works for me might not necessarily work for you, and vice versa. What works for you might not work for me. So I'm going to give you my 2 cents about how I try to be confident in the things that I do, and all I can say is try it, and I hope it works. I definitely, you know, as you guys know, I never want to come off like, you know, it's my way or the highway, because it's not true. This is just how I proceed to do things. Okay, so if I had to narrow it down, I would say there are 3 main things that you need to be confident. The first one is you need, for me, I needed to fall in love with my purpose in life. Like, beforehand, I can tell you, honestly, I was very fake. I was very phony. I was a chameleon. Like, whoever I was around at the time, those are the qualities I exuded. I almost tried to mirror them, not in a weird, like, single white female way, but like, for example, if that person was really into art, I would tap into my art qualities, and that's who I would be, artsy fartsy, while I was around that person. And if another person was into movies, I would tap into my vast knowledge of movies, and that's who I would be. Instead of being the sum total of who I was whoever I thought that person would be happy with at that time, which is totally unhealthy. But that was because I didn't have a purpose, and I was looking for friendships and connections with other people to fill in that purpose-sized hole that I had. And when I figured out what my purpose was, and when I fell in love with it, and I was like, okay, I'm put here to help others. I'm put here to be a bridge between things that have cast people outside of the box and the things that I have access to that can bring them back in the box, or better yet, can help them make their own box. You know what I mean? So when I fell in love with that, then I was more confident about what I was doing because I knew that I was put here for a reason. And I knew that no matter whether I messed up, failed at it, fell on my face, all of that was totally irrelevant because I have a purpose. And I'm the only one in the world that can carry out the purpose designed for my life. So when I started to approach things from that mentality, then it was like, cool, you can talk about art, I'll say what I know, and or we can talk about something else. Like, I wasn't married to whatever situation I was in. I was the one that changed the situation I was in, as opposed to the other way around. And there's, I hope I say it right. There is this parable, if you will, about egg. It's like an egg, a carrot, and coffee. And if you put the coffee with the carrot, then the carrot like soaks it up or something like that, and then the egg, you have to look it up online. It's a very, very great analogy. I probably should have looked it up before I made the video, I'm sorry. But anywho, so finding your purpose, find out what your purpose is. When you figure out what that is, fall in love with it. Like you would, the thing is, when you figure out what your purpose is, you don't have to fall in love with it. You're already going to be in love with it because you were designed to do that. You were purposed to do that. So it's going to come natural to you. It's going to feel great when you're doing it. It's automatic. It's just going to be a smooth flow. So that's number one. Number two, I would suggest that you find your inner beauty. Like when you find your inner beauty and you embrace that and you become proud of that, then you'll be willing to put that on display. And that's what people will see. My mother used to tell me, always put your best foot forward all the time because you never know who you're going to come into contact with, right? And it'll be the day that you're acting a fool that it'll be somebody who could ultimately change your life, who may think twice about it. They may second guess their purpose in your life because you were acting a fool. So I was very conscious of always putting my best foot forward, doing my absolute best. And then if it doesn't work out after that, oh well, I can never say that I didn't try and that it wasn't my best. And so I think that same concept should be added to your inner beauty. And for me, I was like, okay, what are my best assets? And when I say figure out your best assets and put that forward, like for example, I have big boobs, and to some people that's awesome, like women who want big boobs and guys who like big boobs. That's an awesome thing. But I would not go around wearing V-necks and cutoffs so that you can see my big boobs and highlighting my big boobs. That's not confidence. That's flaunting. And those are two different things. And when you flaunt, it kind of looks thirsty, desperate, whatever. And that's definitely not the message you want to send. So for me, I feel like it's your inner beauty, it's your inner qualities that you have to figure out what they are, tap into them, and put those on display. So for me, I'm a great talker, as you can see. Talker, storyteller, that's my thing. I can communicate clearly what I'm trying to say, usually, to a vast array of people. I have the ability to talk to a doctor and turn around and talk to a 5-year-old and communicate the same information. That's my gifting. That's my area. That's where I flow. So I put that on display. So I'm a talker. When I never meet a stranger, hey, how you doing? Because I know I can talk to anyone. Prime example, I have friends who are angry atheists, as I call, and I tease them like, you are an angry atheist. You need a hug. So they know I'm a believer. I never turn my faith down for them. But the reason why we can be friends and they can sit there and get off their chest why they're angry at God and why God doesn't exist and why they're angry at me for believing God. By the end of the discussion, they've said their piece. We've laughed at least 3 times and they go on about their business, feeling good about their day. I still love God. They haven't accepted or agreed that he's real, but it's my ability to be able to deal with people, talk to people, and connect with them wherever they are. I flow in that. I put that foot forward. I'm also a great listener. As much as I talk, believe it or not, it's because it's a one-way screen. I also listen really well because I love people's stories. I have a really good ear for listening to people's stories. I think it's fascinating that all the different components of life and our experiences and our thought processes and our perceptions, all of that goes into making us individuals, those are the very same things that allow us to navigate through life on the same path differently. I think that just fascinates me. I love studying people groups for that very same reason. And so again, my ability to strike up a conversation, get someone to feel comfortable enough to share their story with me, that's my stroke of confidence, I guess you could say. So when people meet me, that's what they see. Hey, how are you? They see someone bubbly, they see someone open, they see someone down to earth and open-minded, because I feel like I'm good at that. I'm not good at everything, but I'm good at that. I'm good at connecting with people. So that's what I put forward. And that is something that transcends whether I'm people's physical cup of tea or not. Oh, she's too short, she's too dark, she's too whatever. She's not attractive, she's not this. These are things that I hear all the time. But those things don't deter me because I know, again, what I put forward, my best foot forward, that doesn't come in a package of appearance. That comes in a package of Avery. And so I put that out there, and that is what it is. And I'm confident in that, I'm strong in that, I'm settled in that. And I would even venture to say, I really am not that much of a confident person. I think I can actually say that. I'm really not that confident. I think what people like V. Daniels and other people, because people say, oh, Avery, you're strong, Avery, you're confident. I mean, I wish I had confidence like you. It's really not that. I would say that I'm probably not confident at all. I second guess myself a lot. I have a lot of insecurities that I have to deal with. As I've mentioned to you before, living with PCOS, every day is a struggle. Like, I do not leave the house unless I have a purpose. Thank God I found my purpose, because if I didn't, I would be miserable and depressed like all the time. So there's an entire regimen that I do every morning to pump myself up, to feel human, to feel worth it, to feel beautiful, to feel feminine, to feel like I have something to offer the world. Like, I have to go through that every morning, and then I can leave the house, and then I can do what I have to do, because I have faith in my purpose, and I have faith that God put me here for a reason. So I just focus and put myself into that. And so then when I go out, when I teach my classes, when I'm at the orphanage, when I'm doing missions, when I'm just hanging out with people, when I'm buying someone lunch because that's what God told me to do, whatever, I'm doing that in confidence in God, not in me. I'm doing that in confidence in my purpose. Like, okay, I know I'm supposed to take you to lunch. I don't know why, but I know I'm supposed to take you to lunch. So I'm going to sit here and let you say whatever it is you can say, because I know I'm supposed to be here. That's the confidence that people see. When I'm in front, when I'm talking to a group of people about fundraising and why it's important to help third world countries and why it's important to donate to this particular orphanage and what this orphanage does, that's my purpose. So I'm focusing on those kids and what I have to do for them. So that confidence and that passion that people hear is not really confidence at all. It's, I have to do a mission. I have mission focused, mission impossible. I have my mission face on. And so I guess you could almost say the confidence that people see is like a fight or flight syndrome. Like, okay, Abe, you're going to either fail at this or you're going to succeed at this. You got to choose what you're going to do. I want to succeed at this, so I'm going to put it to it and make it happen. But when I come home, I'm very much so reserved, if you could say. And I think people, even in relationships, men have been like, wow, I wasn't expecting, they were expecting me to like be in charge, because what they saw outside, they thought I was like that at home. And it's like, no, I'm the exact opposite at home. Like, nope, I'm total girly girl. Total lay back, what do you want, whatever. And that's another thing I would put forward, I would say is something that I display, is I'm really proud of my Southern roots and my Southern hospitality, and our way of life, I think, is a good thing. And so that's something I totally, definitely, calling people darling, sugar, inviting people over for dinner, and, catering to people. I feel like that's a good thing from the South too. So I put that on display. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Sorry. Okay, number 3, and the last one is, I think you have to not care what people think. And I don't mean that as in be mean, be rude, and not care about others' feelings. I'm not saying that. I mean not care what people think in terms of your life, and doing what's best for you, and doing what feels good to you, and doing what enhances you and what is going to get you to where you're going. You can't allow people who are opposite of that to dictate your life. You know what I mean? Like, excuse me, you can allow people the right to disagree with you, but do not give their disagreement the power to control what you want to do, if that makes sense. So you can agree to disagree, but you don't have to agree that their disagreement takes power over your life. So, for example, let's say you want to go skydiving in Brazil. You want to be the first American to go skydiving in Brazil, if you're American. And that's something you really want to do. You feel like you have to do it. You feel like that's your calling. That's what you're supposed to do, right? And I totally just made this up, so I do not plan on going skydiving over Brazil at all. But you cannot let people who are scared of heights, people who have never left the block they live on, people who are anti-Brazil, people who are anti-planes, people who've never been on a plane, people who are anti-skydiving, people who lost a loved one skydiving, you cannot let those people dictate to you that you don't need to go skydiving, and then now you don't go skydiving because all these people gave their 2 cents about what you needed to do. How about you go skydiving and then tell them all about it when you get back? Like, I had to do this and this is what happened. I understand you didn't want me to go, but let me tell you, this is what happened. Sometimes when we allow people to determine our lives, they can't grow from it either, because maybe that person who did lose a loved one skydiving can see everybody doesn't die falling out of the sky. That person who's been scared to get on a plane, who was trying to discourage you from going, now they can, maybe I can go on a plane. Maybe I can step outside of my box because they did it. You know what I mean? So sometimes you living your life out loud, regardless of all the other noise, it comes across as confidence to people when really you're just committed to yourself. So I would definitely say that is number 3. Like, stop caring what people think. Like, do what works for you. Do what makes you comfortable. Do what's best for you. Look out for you. Numero uno. And I think over time that will build confidence. And I want to definitely point out that, you know, what you may see right now is years of getting it wrong, getting confidence wrong, and allowing my insecurities to control me. And sometimes I have to check myself, like, okay, we're over that. Don't go back there. That's a place that bears no fruit. That's a barren land. Like, move forward. You already know wallowing in this. You already know you can't do anything about this condition. You already know you can't do anything about this. I cannot be taller. As much as I might, as much as I try, I cannot be taller. So I can't wallow in the fact that I'm short. Like, I'm short. It is what it is. Get over it and keep it moving. So, and when you have those 3 things in check, when you know your purpose and you're strong and flat-footed in that, and you're passionate about it, when you stop caring what people think, as I just mentioned, and when you, what was the other one I said? Stop thinking and caring. Oh, when you're putting your best foot forward, when you find your inner beauty and embrace that and put that out first. When you do those 3 things, it becomes, it's not even confidence. It's just you living your life. You know what I mean? And so when people say and do negative things towards you intentionally, it doesn't knock you. It doesn't. It's not even like it makes you stronger. It doesn't even phase you. You're just like, oh, okay, whatever. You're entitled, and I'm moving on. Like, honestly, I can tell you, at least, I'm being generous here, at least 2 to 3 times a day, I get negative things from people via YouTube, via out of their mouths, Facebook, whatever. Oh, you're ugly. You're not really doing anything. What a waste of a life. You believe in God. And, you know, the list goes on. I hear all sorts of negativity. It's bombards me throughout the day. But I don't let those people's opinions about me get to me. You know what I mean? Like, because if I do that, then I'm going to be where they are, putting out negativity, because I have nothing positive to do with my time. So I choose to focus on the positive and roll with that. So I would say that's how you would build confidence. And like I said, I would be so not telling the truth if I told you, and I'm saying this like, oh, I just woke up one day and decided to be confident. It really wasn't that. Like I said, I had to figure out what worked for me. I had to find the things that gave me inner beauty. I had to settle in myself the things that I can't change about me that people might not like. I can't change those things. I am who I am. I am the way that God made me. And so those things that I can't change, those things that I can't overcome, I can't be bound to those things. And I certainly can't be bound to people's opinions about those things. So I can't do anything about it. I'll just be spinning my wheels, wasting time. So yeah, find something to be productive about, your purpose, and follow through with that, and then everything else will fall into place. And so I hope I answered your question. I'm sorry, I know that was not a very ABC 1, 2, 3 this is how you become confident, but that's, you know, that's what, it's a really hard thing to answer. That's like asking someone, how do you fall in love? Like, I can't tell you that. It's a mixture of things, and it all depends on each person and how they go about life and how they see things and how they do things. Side note, I'm really upset because they built this building. The Koreans can build buildings, no offense, but back in the States, like the Spanish, not Spanish from Spain, but Spanish from Mexico and other South American countries, they could build things like this. Like, you wanted something built overnight, ask a Spanish American to do it. In Korea, they make Latin Americans look like slugs. Like, I mean, think in a week, it's like a whole new building. So anyway, they have this building here, and it used to be this beautiful, it's a giant window right here. You guys can't see it. But anyway, I got great sunlight, and it was awesome. Then they built this building, and I get like shards of it at different times during the day, and I'm like, you took my son. So anyway, that answers the question for today. It was 20 minutes. I definitely was trying to make this 10 minutes. So sorry. But anyway, I hope I answered your question. V Daniels, thank you so much for writing in. And you guys be sure to write in your questions. Give me your name, your YouTube handle, where you're from, and I'll be sure to answer your questions to the best of my ability. So until next time, mwah, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in to MKJTV. Bye, guys.